WWE Bad Blood is shaping up to be one of the worst PLEs of 2024 in my opinion, and yes, I said that. You're probably wondering, oh, well, this guy's a hater, man. How can he think this is so bad? What's wrong? Let me tell you something. I have seen, obviously none of us have seen the PLE yet, but just looking at it on the outside, this does not look good objectively speaking. Number one, there's no major title defenses. The WWE title is not on the line. The World Heavyweight Championship is not on the line. LA Knight, your new US champion who's doing great work, is not here. And same thing with Jey Uso, your new super over babyface with the IC title, is not on the show. Instead, you have stuff like Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, which doesn't even deserve to be on a PLE the way it's built up. Nia Jax versus Bayley. I'm sure you're really excited to see the culmination of that feud, aren't you, right? Right? Like, no, you're not. Of course you're not. Nobody is. But you also have that going on. And then you get, what, Liv Morgan versus Rhea, which we all know this feud is going to continue to get dragged out in a boring way like it's been doing for the last month or two at this point. On paper as well, this PLE has 5 matches. This is ridiculous. How can you be the culmination of these big bad blood, big feuds and, intense rivalries, and you have 5 matches and none of them have a stipulation besides one match with the Punk vs. Drew Hell in a Cell? That makes no sense, and immediately, just off those 2 reasons alone, it lowers my hype for this PLE by a good margin. 2 or 3 of your top stars, like what, Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, LA Knight, none of those people are on the card, so therefore, you're not even putting your best talent out there, so you're not going to get the best possible show that you can get, so that's that. Like, if we're being honest here, we could have easily had Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade, which is a great, actually feels like a bad blood intense feud, a best of 7 that's epic, the idea of it's great. You could have also had Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman in the last Monster Standing match. The match ended up being epic on Raw. Seth Rollins returned. You could have had that at a PLE. And there's multiple other matches I'm sure you could come up with that would have been better feuds and better moments to happen at Bad Blood than the stuff we're actually getting. Now let's get into the predictions, starting off with Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. This match has absolutely no stipulations, and quite frankly, I don't really think this match deserves to be on a PLE, and why is that? The feud and the build-up for this feud and this match at Bad Blood is horrible. It is awful. They haven't even had many promo segments, but in the ones they've had, Finn Balor has done a poor job of making me excited for this feud. It's the same stuff. The Judgment Day. Damian, you did this. You did this. The Judgment Day. You broke us up. We didn't need you, Damian. We didn't need you. And then all of a sudden, guess what the next week is? Damian, you did it. You did it. And then Damian hasn't even said any words on the mic. He's just gone out and either beat Finn up or gotten beat up by 4 people. So either way, no matter how they're booking it, Damian looks stronger than Finn Balor. But in this match, I don't really care who wins because, like I said, the build-up in the feud has been repetitive, it's been boring, it's been stale. There's no interesting and engaging storytelling or promos leading me to believe that this match is going to be epic or that this feud is awesome or that it's improved at all since the SummerSlam turn that Finn Balor did. That was actually pretty cool. I think Finn Balor will walk out of this match with a win, so that way, Triple H can do his signature and extend every story 90 months. So we're probably going to see Finn win this match, but again, I don't care about this feud. Who cares who wins this match in all seriousness? But yes, I think Finn's going to win. Don't care. And next is Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, which has now become the most overrated storyline in WWE. The promos between Rhea and Liv. I challenge you to show me one promo between Rhea and Liv over the last 2 months since Rhea came back, or 3 months or whatever, that actually was amazing. Please show me one. There has not been amazing storytelling or promo buildup for this feud, at least in the last 2 months. It's felt repetitive, it's felt stale, and it feels more about Dominic Mysterio and his stuff with Rhea in the past Judgment Day stuff than it does about actually Liv Morgan, who's the world champion. All she does is get booked like a wimp and a loser. She runs away from Rhea Ripley at every single turn possible. She just keeps running and running unless Rhea is injured or she attacks Rhea from behind. And then you have Dominic Mysterio. Putting him in a shark cage, what does that do? Liv Morgan can still get someone like Raquel Rodriguez, who is a jobber. I don't know why people are acting like, oh, Raquel Rodriguez is going to cost her. Nobody cares. Raquel Rodriguez is a jobber who probably is never going to win championship gold unless it's a women's tag team belt. Other than that, she ain't doing nothing. So let's say she shows up and costs Rhea the match, which is probably going to happen because they have to extend this feud as well to extend Rhea and Liv and extend it another 5 months or maybe to WrestleMania. It's boring. It's repetitive. Rhea Ripley is more talented than Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has not proven anything to me as champion, in my humble opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but this is just how I feel. I think Liv Morgan is boring, and I think this feud has gotten stale, and I think this match is incredibly predictable, but it doesn't need to be predictable, and we don't need to keep dragging this feud, but obviously, that's what Triple H is probably going to do, so I do think Liv Morgan will walk out of this match with a W, while Dominic is locked in a shark cage for some odd reason. I don't care about this match, I'll be honest, whatever. And then you have Nia Jax versus Bayley. Well, who cares about this? Who cares? We know Nia Jax is winning. We know Tiffany is probably not going to cash in yet. If she does, great. If she doesn't, great. We all predicting that Nia Jax is going to win this match and that Tiffany is probably not going to cash in yet, but we'll probably get a tease at it or something like that during the match. They're already trying to force it to, for Nia Jax to be upset with Tiffany, which she should be upset because Tiffany's, kind of tried to quasi-cash in on her twice or whatever, but Nia Jax automatically choking her in these backstage segments and being really uptight all of a sudden is very awkward, it's random, and it doesn't fit the conditions of what's been happening with their relationship. It's a very abrupt switch, but yes, Nia Jax is going to win this match. We already know this. Let's just move on. Quick note about Bayley versus Nia Jax. I could see a return at the end of this match, specifically being Charlotte Flair. Now, Tiffany may try and cash in or do something like that. Maybe they attack Bayley at the end of it or whatever happens, but Charlotte Flair could potentially return here, and that could set up a match between Tiffany and Charlotte, or a match between Nia and Charlotte as well down the line. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful for a return or something big to happen with the women's WWE title picture on SmackDown. And now finally we get to the stuff that actually can end up being very interesting or very good. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell. Now, I think that the build for this feud and this, this whole entire story has gotten a bit stale over the last month or two as well, but one thing that this feud has going for it is that it actually feels like a blood feud. It feels like a culmination of a story that I at one point actually really cared about, and I thought it was really engaging and stuff like that. Since SummerSlam, it kind of fell off, but Punk and Drew are still out there at least every other week or whatever, trying to build this feud with whatever they have left. They've exhausted everything at this point, costing matches, injuries, feuds, breaking the fourth wall with comments about each other's wives or families or whatever. They've done it all at this point, right? So now we're just ready for the match. So the build-up has obviously been solid if you look at the totality of it. Last month or two hasn't been great, but this match has an opportunity to do some crazy things in the Hell in a Cell. You have table spots, chair spots. You could have Wade Barrett get involved as well. You could tie in that Easter egg and that story thread with Wade Barrett and Drew McIntyre. You could have AJ Lee cameo, which obviously we'd all would love to see. That would be absolutely epic. And it's just going to be awesome to see a guy like CM Punk, who I grew up on. He was awesome. That was back in his prime. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 2008, 2009, to like 2014 when he left the company. That was Punk in his prime. Punk has obviously lost a step in the ring. His conditioning is not as great. He's out of breath in basically like 2 minutes at this point in all of his matches, but he still did a decent job with the stuff he's done with Drew so far in the ring. So I don't expect this match to be anything less than like, solid, right? This match should actually be pretty decent. I just hope that we get some pretty epic, bloody spots, awesome stuff inside of that cage that really drives home the feud and the hard, the clashing between these two, man. If they deliver on that in this match and make it an aggressive, really physical match without Punk getting hurt, that's a big thing because Punk is very fragile in that ring. If he gets hurt, that would suck. So I hope that he somehow stays healthy through this match. That's probably going to end up being very physical and very bloody, and it should honestly be pretty epic. It should be an epic culmination, but this match, I think, is going to be won by CM Punk. This does bother me, though, because I do think that someone like Drew McIntyre, who clearly is just in a way better spot in the ring, I mean, he's closer to being in his prime than Punk is to being in his prime, to put it nicely, right? So it doesn't really make sense for Drew to lose in this match, but I guess, for the story, they have to do it. Punk can't lose his first major feud back in the company, but at the same time, Drew McIntyre has been there grinding in and out for you. You have to let him have a big moment at some point that actually stands the test of time. Like, he wins the world title at Mania, then he just gets cashed in on 5 minutes later. Then he loses at Bash in Berlin, gets GTS 4 times, and then he loses at Bad Blood as well. Where does he go from here? We know he's probably not beating Jay for that IC title. He's probably not taking that title off Gunther or Braun Breaker or whoever gets the world title next, even if it's seen at possibly at Mania or Orton or whoever it may be. He ain't taking the title off them. It's like, where do you go from here with Drew McIntyre if he does lose? So there's two things going at it, but I think WWE is going to go with CM Punk here. I want Drew to win, but Punk's likely going to win, and that's just how it is. And lastly, and this is what I think is going to be the main event of Bad Blood because of the hometown kid and because of the star power here, you have Cody Rhodes, the hometown boy from Georgia, with Roman Reigns, and they're going to be fighting against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. This match is actually probably the most unpredictable match on this card. Now, obviously, I know people are thinking, oh, well, we know Roman and Cody are going to win, but how do we really know that? Cody got pinned by Solo Sikoa at Money in the Bank. You also have the fact that Roman Reigns is is probably going to be doing a Bloodline Civil War Games match at Survivor Series. So if he gets pinned here, you're still setting him up to do something even bigger than this in about a month or two from now anyways, right? So we're not done with this Bloodline story with Roman coming back. This is only just getting started. This is Roman's first match since Mania. This dude's still got many more matches left to do over the next year or two to keep on building up on this Bloodline story and stuff, eventually maybe leading to him versus The Rock at Mania 41 or Mania 42 or whatever. So the question is, who is going to take the pin if Roman and Cody lose? You can have it be Cody, but I don't really think that makes great sense because Cody already got pinned by Solo and then lost him in the match, so that doesn't make sense. Roman could get pinned by Jacob Fatu, setting up Roman versus Jacob Fatu at Crown Jewel or at sometime before Survivor Series, something like that. You could set that up in like a really intense, the fans will be really into a Fatu versus Roman Reigns match, the face-off, the in-ring work. Everything involving Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns in this tag match has me just hyped just thinking about it. Those two in the ring is going to be nice. It's going to be epic to see Roman and Solo clash off, see how Roman and Cody interact in the story threads and story moments they have in those matches. We know Roman Reigns is big on doing the in-ring storytelling and the trash talk and the dialogue. He knows how to tell great stories inside of his matches, so expect that here as well. But I really don't know who I think is going to win. If Jacob Fatu takes the pin, it's going to make him look a little bit weaker as an enforcer. They're trying to make him look really strong. If Solo takes the pin, he only got pinned by Cody Rhodes, but maybe Roman couldn't get the pin, so you have that story there. But I do think that all roads kind of lead in a way to Roman Reigns getting pinned at Bad Blood, but I don't know about that though, man. I genuinely don't know who to pick who's going to win this match, bro, and I like the unpredictability of that, but man, because if Roman and Cody win, then this feud's over. He doesn't need to do a Bloodline Civil War because he knows he can beat Solo, so I think Roman Reigns is going to get pinned, man, and I think he's going to get pinned by Solo Sikoa or Jacob Fatu. There's only two options, but I do think he's going to get pinned in this match, and Fatu and Solo will get the W. I'm not sure how it's going to happen or if there will be returns. Maybe someone will show up. How will they build to Survivor Series War Games, things of that nature? How will they expand on the story between Cody and KO and Randy Orton at this PLE? Maybe the Tongans get involved, KO and Orton help, and then cost Cody or turn on Cody or cost Roman and Cody the match, and maybe you have a 2v2 between Orton and KO versus Cody and Roman. There's so many different avenues, and the unpredictability of this, the interactions in it, make it so interesting, and so I'm really curious to see what happens with this match. However, I do think that Cody and Roman are somehow going to lose this match, and I think it's going to set up a future program with Roman and the new bloodline a little bit down the line, maybe at Survivor Series or Crown Jewel or whatever happens next. But yes, this match will definitely main event. I don't know why people think Punk and Drew is main eventing. Yeah, it's got the longest build-up, but the biggest star power match is obviously Roman and Cody here. They're your two biggest stars in the company outside of, obviously Punk and, Rollins and Rhea Ripley, all that stuff. But this match is going to main event. It's in Cody's hometown. He's the WWE champion. You know this. But with all that being said, those are my thoughts on who will show up, who will be revealed, all the big twists and turns of Bad Blood, and my predictions as to who will win or lose these matches. Let me know what you think about Bad Blood in the comment section below, how you think it's going to go out, who you think is going to win, who you think's losing, who's showing up, who's not. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a phenomenal day. Peace out.